Hey, Henrik, congratulations on the new deal. Thanks for doing this today. Almost immediately after you were bought out by the Rangers, you were linked to the Capitals. What was it about the Capitals that attracted you here and made them such a clear fit for you?
Well, I think for a few weeks now, been doing my homework on all different scenarios and options for me. And I have to say, Capitals, they checked every box when it comes to a team that understands winning, great coaching staff, um, an opportunity to play some games. I think those were the main factors for me. But there's so many things that goes into this decision for me, but starting with chance to win. I think at this point in my career, uh, that's the most important thing. I want to have a chance to win, and I know a few guys on the team. I played against a lot of the guys for so many years. I have the most respect for them, and I'm just very excited and grateful actually to to join them. And yeah, I'm been skating for a few weeks now, and I'm just really excited to take on this new challenge.
Thank you. And we'll take all the questions in English first, and then we'll go to Swedish questions at the end there. We'll go to Chris Kerwin with NBC's 4.
Henrik, welcome to DC or virtually or whatever. Was there any bitterness that the Rangers maybe didn't think you still had it in you to do this? I mean, I'm sure you're glad to come to Washington, but that New York maybe thought we're going to move on. Is there any bitterness there?
You know what? Um, in the springtime, it was a pretty tough time for me. I kind of saw where this was going a little bit, so I had time to reflect and think about a lot of different things. And I reached a level of so much gratitude towards the Rangers. And honestly, I feel like gratitude is the best feeling you can ever have. And I appreciate everything they've done for me over the 15 years I've been there. And they were ready to make a few moves and take the next step in their rebuild and moving on. And I had my time to deal with that mentally because this was a big thing. I'm not gonna lie; it was a really big thing for me to say goodbye because it was such a long relationship. Um, so when this happened last week, I was in a really good place because I had time to work on that, and it also made it easier for me to really take in all the love and support I felt during last week, and I was kind of blown away with all the support I felt. And I also felt ready for the next step because I realized how much I love the game, how much I love to compete, and then looking at the different options I've had and looking at Washington and how excited I got thinking about going to Washington. You know, Obviously it's been a pretty emotional week, but it's exciting times ahead here. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to Sam Pell with the Washington Post.
Hi, Henrik. Congrats. I know you mentioned that you have some friends on the team. Have you gotten a chance to talk to, Nick Backstrom or Carl Hagelin or even Ovechkin just now that you're officially here?
Yeah, I talked to all three. They all say it's a tight group, great group of guys. I heard that even before I signed. I heard a lot of good things about the group, but also talking to the guys they've been through a lot together, and you grow as a group when you go through, um, you know, all the things they've been through. So, and also, they have an older group, experienced group that really attracted me. Um, so I look forward to see them, all the guys that I know already, but even more so get to know the rest of the team Yeah, and just get going.
Thank you. We'll go to Scott Abraham with ABC7. Scott, please go ahead.
Hey, Henrik, Scott Abraham, ABC7. First of all, congratulations. Welcome to Washington.
Thank you.
Alex Ovechkin in particular, he was a fierce rival, fierce competitor for so many years. You two had so many amazing battles in the playoffs. What is it like to finally be teammates with Ovi and practice with this guy and just be with this guy all season long now as a teammate?
You know, it's kind of crazy. Like you just said, it's been so many years of battles, and I have so much respect for him for what he's accomplished. He's one of the toughest players to stop. There's no way around it. You look at his record, it speaks for itself. And it's been so much fun, too, to go up against him for so many years. It was funny, too. I called him the other day, and you know, he's been so fun to play against because how good he is, but he's also a character on the ice. So I look forward to now be on the same team. And the one thing I told him, though, is I won't do any one-time drills with him because his shot is just way too hard. So I already put myself out of that one. But, you know, they have so many skilled players. But obviously, Ovi, with all the years playing against him, I definitely look forward to be on the same side now.
We'll go to Olivia Garvey with ABC7.
Hey, Henrik, welcome to Washington, like Scott said. Is there something about this franchise that you, over the years, that you've just respected most? What is one thing about Washington that you've looked at over the years and have just respected how they played the game or what they've done with their players?
I don't know. It's just a feeling when you come to Washington, and I think it starts from the top, from the owner and down, how they treat the players, the city, the fans playing in that building. There's always excitement there to come and play in Washington, and maybe part of because we played, you know, against each other in the playoffs for many years. But the way they operate, you know, like I said, from top to bottom. And I also always love coming to Washington as a city. I think it's a beautiful city, and I think in this decision there were so many different things that added up to, you know, it made sense for me and my family to make this move. But early on, I talked about the importance of having a team that can win. That's where it all starts for me in this decision.
Thank you. We'll go to Tarek Al-Bashir with The Athletic.
Hi, Henrik. How important was role in the role you're going to have with the team in making your decision? And what do you understand your role is going to be here in Washington from speaking with Brian McClellan?
No, I'm just there. I'm going to work as hard as I can, and whatever my role will be, you know, that's up to the coaches. So I know, you know, I have an opportunity to play if I do really well, but I also understand, you know, Washington has a really young goalie in Samsonov, great goalie, played really well last year. So I'm embrace the whole thing, coming there and try to help and support him, but obviously also perform really well. So whatever the role will be, you know, I'm ready for it. But right now, you know, I can only control my preparation here, the training and the mindset going into next year. And then we'll just take it from there.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Tom Galletti with NHL.com.
Hey, Henrik. How long did it take you or maybe it didn't take long at all for you to decide that you still wanted to keep playing after you knew the Rangers were going to kind of part ways with you? We heard like maybe last weekend you were still thinking about it, or was it really quick you decided I'll still have something left here?
Well, I told you guys earlier that I worked myself on how I felt about the Rangers and everything in the spring, because I kind of knew where this was going, and that took some time. But when I finally was in a good place and felt so much gratitude towards the Rangers, and you know, I was ready to see beyond the next step. beyond not being a Ranger on the ice. So, this thought process has been going on for a couple months, and just see yourself play elsewhere and understand what that means for me as a player. And as we got closer, I started to get more and more excited about the different options. And like I said, it became crystal clear to me what was the right thing for me, and that was Washington.
Next question to Neil McHale from Inside Hockey.
Hi, Henrik. First of all, congratulations. After the playoff series with Carolina, I spoke to a few of your teammates there, and they offered so much praise to you. And, a lot of them grew up with you around there. What can you say about that group that you were around, and how much does the experience in New York help you as, you go into this period with the Capitals now?
Well, I mean, the group in New York is it's a very talented group, young group. Sometimes you forget how young it is, but they grew a lot throughout the year, and they have, some great years ahead of them with some really good players growing up, but also with some great additions. So, I want to wish them all the best. Some really good friends on that team, and they all treated me so nicely. And it was a pretty emotional moment for me after that last game in Toronto. But they have a bright future for sure as an organization.
Jason Rogers with Jay String.
Hey, Henrik, welcome to DC. Congratulations. Yeah. I guess, have you talked to Peter Laviolette at all? And what are you looking forward to playing for him? And what are you excited about playing for him?
I have talked to him. And I told him I got excited just listening to him over the phone. I think that's one of his strengths, how to motivate guys and get guys committed. It's such an important part of being a coach in the NHL, I think, how you make guys commit to the one goal. And I just look forward to every time you get an opportunity to play under a new coach, you learn so much, because they all they all approach it a little differently. They have their own ways of doing things. So you can definitely learn a lot every time. And I had coaches being calm. I had coaches being more active, and something in between. So now there's another opportunity to learn from Peter. And so far, what I've heard, seen, and obviously in person talking to him, it's all good things. So I look forward to get to know his style even more.
Thank you. Alan Kreda.
Hi, Henrik. Thank you so much for the time. I just want to say publicly, thank you for the kindness, the graciousness, all that you've been to us in New York for 15 years. We appreciate it as human beings. So I need to put that out there publicly. And just how is your swirl of emotions right now that it's official? What's it like? And have you, for a fleeting few seconds, thought about that game at the Garden that we're already talking about? Thank you.
Thanks, Alan. Well, like I said, it was a long way getting to last Wednesday for me mentally to work on that. It was a very emotional day for me and my wife, but it was a beautiful day. I could really feel the love and support coming in from all over the place. And it was, I really could, because I was in such a good place mentally, I could really absorb it all. And moving forward, I haven't thought that far, playing that one game back. It's more, preparing for chapter 2. It's been a long chapter 1 in New York that I will never forget. I will always appreciate that time. It brings me so much joy thinking back of all the memories and players I played with and the opportunities they gave me. So forever grateful for that. And chapter 2 now, I'm really excited about that.
Thanks, Hank.
Just to remind everyone, please use the chat option below if you want to ask a question. We'll go to Colin Stevenson.
Hi, Hank. I'd like to echo a lot of what Alan just said about thanking you for all how great you treated us. My question would be, you said you had a lot of time to process this, as things became apparent in the latter half of the season. What was your mindset going into those 2 qualifying round games then, when you got a chance to play? I don't know how unexpected or expected it was for you to play, but what was your mindset going into those games? And then how difficult was that conversation that you had with John Davidson?
Coming back in the summer, I think my mindset was, if this is it, let's enjoy it. That was my mindset going back this summer. I really enjoyed going to the rink, seeing the guys compete, being part of the Rangers, and I appreciate every day. I really did. And then playing those games, I just wanted to do as good as I could, obviously, and try to win. It was not enough, but I enjoyed it. And I kind of knew it was the end in New York, and then having the conversation with JD, and he told me they were ready to move on. And, I had such a long time to prepare for that it was, I was in peace with it, and grateful. And back to my earlier conversations about that, when you feel gratitude towards something, it's just it gives a lot back to you. So I was happy, feeling that gratitude towards the Rangers, and again made it easier for me to take this next step.
Thank you. We'll go back to Scott Abraham with ABC7.
Hey, Henrik, already with you signing in Washington, there's been comparisons. This could be Ray Bourque 2.0. Obviously, Ray spent a lot of time with one team and won a cup in Colorado. Have you allowed yourself to maybe think about that, having a Ray Bourque type moment? Because ideally, this is the situation. If you want ultimately win a cup, it'd be here in Washington. It'd be similar to what Ray Bourque did with Boston and Colorado.
Yeah, I think when you start a journey, you have to picture it happening first, right? So that's what I'm doing right now. I want to see myself lift that cup, and I want to do it in Washington. So I definitely see myself do it. I think that will be my motivation now, going into training every day and prepare for camp. And whenever camp starts, that will be on my mind. Obviously, that's the ultimate story. I remember watching that back in Sweden when it happened, and it was such a cool moment. But obviously, you don't want to put more pressure on yourself than you have to. Just use it as motivation and inspiration, and then you just go from there.
Okay, our last question in English comes from Winston with ABC7.
Hey, Henrik. Thanks for joining us, first of all, and welcome to Washington, sort of.
Thank you.
I know it's really, really hard to think about fans right now, but what are you expecting your welcome to be in Washington? Especially, a lot of Caps fans remember you as kind of like one of the guys that was in their way previous years in the playoffs. But what do you think your welcome in Washington will be like?
I don't know. I'm going to come in and work as hard as I can and do whatever I can to help this team. And hopefully they can see how much I'm going to put in to try to do that, how much work. And I think Washington, just like New York, you got to earn it by hard work and good attitude and being a good teammate. So that's going to be my mindset. And then we'll just see when the fans are back and how they react. Who knows?
All right, let's switch to Swedish. Jane Berngston, please, NHL.com.
Ja, hej, Henrik, hör du mig eller?
Jajamän.
Det är Janne Bengtsson här på NHL.com. När du funderade på det, tänkte du någon gång på att du skulle sluta helt? Och när du väl hade bestämt dig så att säga, för att fortsätta, var Capitals redan med i bilden då?
Alltså jag har ju övervägt alla scenarier. Det är klart att du gör det. Du måste ju överväga liksom, vad är alternativen nu när Rangers väljer att gå vidare? Ett var ju att sluta. Och ett var att bli utköpt och se sig om. Och det är klart att man kände efter. Vad står jag någonstans? Känslomässigt. Och hur mycket älskar jag sporten? Hur mycket gillar jag att lägga ner all den tiden som krävs? Så jag insåg ganska fort hur mycket jag tycker om att åka till rinken och träna och tävla. Och sen när de här olika alternativen växte fram och man såg vilka möjligheter som fanns och hela den processen. Det är klart att det gav en ännu mer blodad tand att man ville köra på här. Och Washington växte ju fram hela tiden som en stark kandidat för det var så många bra saker jag såg.
När du väl hade bestämt dig för att fortsätta, satte du upp några geografiska gränser? Jag menar, Washington är ju hyfsat närbeläget ändå för att ha bott i de senaste 15 åren. Men om du hade fått ett bud från Calgary eller Edmonton eller San Jose eller något sånt där?
Ja, men de lagen som var intresserade gjorde ganska ordentlig lista på allting. Massa olika saker som vi gick igenom. Jag och min familj med liksom, chans att vinna och allt ifrån det praktiska. Men någonstans så börjar det ju med chansen att vinna. Det är den som väger tyngst. Det var det som var viktigt i hela den här beslutsprocessen. Så det blev... alla de andra bitarna kändes också rätt i Washington. Och det var därför det här beslutet växte fram. Men det började med chans att vinna.
Sista frågan. Du sa någonting om Ovechkin här, att då skulle du hålla dig undan. Vad var det för någonting? Jag fattar inte riktigt det där. Och sen så en fråga. När spelade du med Becky senast? Var det OS i Sochi?
Senast med Becky så var ju VM-guldet 17.
Var han med då?
Ja, han kom ju ungefär samtidigt som jag, tror jag.
Fan, jag har sett så många VM som man kommer inte ihåg.
Och han och Nyllet där, kommer jag ihåg. Men sen med Ovechkin, men vi skojar lite. Han brukar alltid hetsa mycket när vi spelar. Han brukar alltid säga one more när han har gjort något mål. Men då sa han, nu blir det ingen mer med det, kanske bara på träning, sa han. Och så sa jag att jag kommer inte stå i mål på några direktskottsövningar. Då får någon annan stå på de övningarna. Det var det jag sa. Men det ska bli jättekul att vara i samma lag som Ovi. Han är en av de bästa spelarna någonsin. Och Beckis och hela ligan där. Jag ser fram emot att lära känna hela bunten. Men några känner jag ju rätt väl redan nu.
En fråga till bara. Jag pratade en gång med en gammal elitseriespelare som hade bytt lag efter också 15 år. Och han sa att det kommer kännas jättekonstigt att spela mot mitt gamla lag. Va? Det var Västerås och Djurgården var det förut.
Ja.
Det kommer kännas jättekonstigt att spela mot det gamla. Jag vågar ju knappt passa, tänker man bara liksom rent instinktivt passa fel där. Va? Hur kommer du att känna när du kommer tillbaka till garden?
Svårt att säga.
Du kommer ju bli hyllad.
Ja, men det är inte säkert att det ens är fans på plats heller. Jag tror det, oavsett så kommer det ju vara väldigt speciellt. Det är ju ingen snack om det. Alltså 15 år, hela den här processen har betytt så otroligt mycket. Som första matchen med Rangers, det kommer ju vara... kommer säkert vara svårt. Det kommer det vara. Det kommer vara en utmaning. Och det vet jag om. Men vi får se hur det blir och hur det känns. Men det kommer vara annorlunda och ganska svårt, det tror jag.
Okej, Henrik. Tack så du ha.
Tack.
All right. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for your time, and thank you everyone for calling in. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.